This is Capital Games Movie Club. I am the Wiz.
And I'm Kim Shactman.
Kimmy, how are you doing this week?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
All right. Hanging in there.
You just be your girl boss and do whatever you can, girl. Oh, God.
The weather's been tough here in New England. It's been rainy all week, and I'm like, I think I'm mentally spent, but...
Yeah. I mean, the weather has been pretty okay down here, but the air quality has been pretty bad, if you have heard the news. But we'll get past that. So we are here for Pride Month to discuss the 2009 film A Single Man, starring Colin Firth and Julianne Moore, directed by Tom Ford. You mentioned that you like Colin Firth in the last episode. Yes. What movies have you seen of his that you enjoy?
Oh, God. Off the top of my... I mean, I like Love Actually. He's in that, right? I can't remember. I think he is. There's, like... Let me just look really quick. Hold on.
I think you are right. And the only reason why I'm not sure is because I'm not a fan of Love Actually.
Yeah, so. You don't like that movie. Hold on. Let me just pull up a list of his
Are you sure you're not thinking of Bridget Jones's Diary?
Oh, I love Bridget Jones's Diary.
No, so... you are right. He is in Love Actually. Go ahead.
And Love Actually. Wait, what? There's The Secret Garden? Did they remake that movie?
No, that's from the 90s, isn't it? They are. I think they are remaking it. But yeah, they
must have, because he was in The Secret Garden in 2020. Ooh, I need to watch that because I really love the one from the 90s. Oh yeah, he was in Mamma Mia, which didn't love him in that one.
Go again.
There was like another movie I've seen him in that I really like.
I mean, we can.
The King's Speech. That's a really good movie.
Yeah, he's very good in that. Absolutely. I think he won the Oscar for that one. He was in The Kingsman, which is one of the films that he's in that I like quite a bit.
I don't think I've seen that yet.
He's also in another great movie, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. That's a really good movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's in Shakespeare in Love. I love that movie.
He plays the boyfriend.
Lord Wessex.
Yeah. I do like Shakespeare in Love quite a bit. He's been doing a lot of great movies for a number of years. He also was in the really good miniseries from
Pride and Prejudice.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think that's where I first kind of fell in love with him as an actor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He is a very good actor, and he does have some interesting roles that he does, but he relies more on his charm than really I would say, a great acting ability, but he actually is a very good actor, so I don't want to discount him on that, at least.
I think he is.
Yeah, but like some actors rely on their charisma and charm than acting ability, and I think he does both, really. He's very good in acting, but when he has to turn on the charm, he knows what to do, is what I say. Because as much as I like Hugh Grant, he is more of a charisma actor than...
He's very charming.
Yeah, that's how I would look at it with him.
All
right, so do you want to just get down to the review?
Sure.
We're going to get to the review of A Single Man, starring Colin Firth and Julianne Moore, directed by Tom Ford. I guess I'll get started.
Yes, why don't you start? Usually I always start. I want you to start this time.
Do you? Okay. Are you being sarcastic? Because I thought I'm the one that starts.
No, you always usually ask me the questions, and then I...
Well, that's what I'm trying to... Oh, okay, okay.
You start with your feelings on the film first.
Got it. Okay. This movie, I think, is one of those movies that personifies style over substance. It's a movie that I watch, and I can admit while looking at it that it is a beautiful-looking film. But as I'm watching it, I'm going, but why are you shooting it like this? What's the purpose? What's the point? And the only thing I got at the end of the film was because it looks pretty. It really reminded me of watching, those commercials that they have now for fragrances and designer clothing that's got really attractive, beautiful women in beautiful spaces and really gorgeous looking set pieces. And it's just like, it's like a guy who is just like standing there looking seductive on a beach, and it says, by Giorgio Armani. That's kind of what this movie reminded me of.
Like the way it was shot.
Yeah, like a really long commercial for designer clothing and designer fragrances. shooting like that is not that bad. It's not a problem in itself, but when it really doesn't add much other than to look nice, it really came off as shallow in this movie. And like I said, I do like the way it looks, but I just don't understand exactly what was the purpose of it other than it looks nice.
I thought the way like it looked was, like you said, it looked really pretty, and the way they shot it, and like the way they did some flashbacks and so forth. But I think it was almost like too much. Like it was too much of a long commercial, like you said.
It was too much because there's too little of substance.
Right.
There is no point in this film where I'm watching Colin Firth's character George, where I'm starting to understand where he's coming from or how he feels or the specifics of how he's feeling. It goes through flashbacks, it goes through of his previous relationship, and it goes through what he's going through. But there's nothing to attach yourself to the character other than to say, it sucks, right? That's...
Yeah, like this is a really sad situation.
Right.
That's literally it.
Right. You have some good performances here. I mean, Colin Firth is very good in this. And,
I think he is too.
And I do like Nicholas Hoult in this as well to a certain extent. But these are some really good actors. But these actors don't have much to work with. Either that or what they had to work with was just cut out of the film entirely. I came out of the film going, well, that sure did look pretty. But I don't know what else the point of this movie was, other than like misery porn is kind of what I would put it as.
Depressing.
I'm sorry?
It was very depressing.
Yeah, you know though, it is depressing. I don't find it very depressing, which is the odd thing about the film that I had. Because the way that the camera lingers on certain things, such as the slow motion shots of George passing by a family home with the kids like jumping up and down and shooting guns and stuff like that, it seemed like at the time that Tom Ford was trying to shoot it in the style of him not realizing how beautiful his life is, even though, spoiler alert, he wants to end himself. And before let's get into what the plot of the story is. George's lover of 19 years dies in a car crash, and upon finding out his death, and the way he found out of his death was pretty sad.
That was really sad.
He realizes he wants to kill himself. It's not done subtly, I would say. It becomes very obvious what he's going through in this, but he gets to that point pretty quick.
Right.
And the slow motion shots and everything, I think the purpose of it was look at the beautifulness of his life and everything that he has around him is so happy and pleasant. And still he wants to end it all. And how sad that is. Where I just looked at it and went, all of this is so fucking unnecessary. Why are we lingering on a head-to-toe shot of a little 5-year-old girl?
In the bank.
In the bank.
Yeah,
why?
I was kind of like, I asked myself those same questions. I'm like, what's the purpose?
I think really the purpose was to show how beautiful his life truly is and how he doesn't appreciate what he has.
Right.
But
it's a lot of that, like in the beginning of the film for sure.
Right. And then the film kind of does something in the middle of the film as well that counteracts that entire purpose. Where the example I would give is when he met that male prostitute.
Yes.
And it shows that he still has a good life, and he's still attractive to some people, especially to that student. And everything.
And he's also an attractive man. You know what I mean? Like.
Yes, absolutely.
He still got it.
Right, absolutely. But the fact that he is also keenly aware of it, and that he recognizes in that scene that there is a lot of good in his life still, which then kind of counteracts the entire purpose of why he's doing what he's doing. I'm not discounting mental health in this situation of people who don't recognize, even though they see goodness in other people and what's around them, that maybe he still wants to end himself because he himself still feels that way, that his life is still not worth living. I'm not counteracting that. But the film doesn't give you that attachment and gives you that thing that says to identify why he still is that way. It's just weird because on the one hand, he recognizes there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good things I have. But on the other hand, it doesn't make that correlation of, but he doesn't recognize that it's still not worth it. Which,
okay, I can see that. I'm actually really agreeing with you today.
Look, you're basking in the face of brilliance. It's just what happens.
Oh my God. Shut up.
No,
you're not wrong though. I mean, this movie is just, the review for it is just really straightforward and what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's just a sad movie that, again, like you said, some of the shots I feel like are a little bit unnecessary, and I don't know how I really overall felt about the movie. I think I felt I was in a really weird headspace when I watched it too.
That's fine.
So I think I just I related to him on some aspect with the depression and the mental health aspect of the movie, but at the same time, I was like, where are they going with this? And again, we don't want to get into spoilers, but I thought the ending was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. But
I thought the ending was cheap, to be absolutely honest. I thought it was...
yeah, it was a little bit like, oh, that's it?
like, not cheap in that way. Cheap in a way where, well, we need a shocking ending, so here it is. Like, okay. It's like, it further gave me the feeling of that the filmmaker or whoever wrote the film, I think Tom Ford also helped write the film. Whoever wrote the film didn't really care much about the substance other than the style and the shock of things. Like, oh God, look at what he's going through. Oh, look what happened now. It's like, but why? What are you trying to say? And it doesn't look like they had much to say other than, oh, so sad. And it was just like, okay, fine.
And the movie was released in 2009, so it's not like it's a movie that was, but it's based in what, the 60s? Is that? I
think so. I think it's the 60s.
That's what I thought.
It is a hyper-specific location in the 60s and 70s in California. I think it's a very affluent place in California in the 60s and 70s. Because I think the other thing is that the way that the film is shot and how everyone is dressed is impeccable. They are beautiful. They are just like, it's unfairly gorgeous. Like, I didn't see one person that I would say in this movie that looked average. Like, they look fucking gorgeous.
Like, looked like out of place, right? Like, sometimes you'll see movies that are supposed to be based in the 60s, and like, I'm like, those clothes don't really look like they're from the 60s. But like, they all, like, right off the bat, I could tell. I was like, oh. Like, at the very beginning of the movie, like, in his house, like, I'm like, that's a really old-looking refrigerator. Like, this must be from the 60s. Like, that was, like, my first thought.
Right. See, that's the thing that's weird, though, about this movie. I mean, with the exception of the things that signify it being in that time period, the way everyone's dressed, I was going to say the way that everyone's dressed and looks could be implemented and still feel in place today, but not the not the female, the way the women dress. The men,
not the women. The men, they were just like wearing suits.
The suits, or in the case of Nicholas Holt's character, a cashmere sweater, which I thought was pretty interesting. But the females,
for
no.
Los Angeles.
Yeah. But for the females, it was very clear it was like 60s and 70s. Yes. Yeah. Oh, God, but I guess that just points to the direction of me just feeling this is a very much style over substance movie. Like, it is. Like, I can't deny that this film looks utterly gorgeous. It is just... It
really does.
It is so pleasant to look at. Like, not only from the actors and the way they dress and how they look, but just the way that the film is shot, too. I can't deny that the film looks really good, but...
Just every scene catches your eye. Like, I feel like every scene catches your eye, like, with color and...
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Even like the mundane scenes look utterly gorgeous. But with the visuals that are in the movie, I still have a hard time wondering what was the point of making it this specific style. Why? Why is it like this? And the only thing I could glean from this movie was because it looks nice.
I guess, like, to counter that too, maybe like grieving can be a beautiful process, even though, like, you know, I don't know, like, that's like kind of like how I kind of took it. Like, grieving can be a beautiful process as long as, spoiler alert, you don't kill yourself. Like, I don't know.
I can see where you're coming from with that, but
Right.
I would also counter that with saying the ending. I think the ending would actually completely negate that entire
Yeah, but it changes. Like I'm talking like more of like the beginning and the middle of the film, and then towards the end, there's like, it's almost like he's like coming out of that grieving process.
Right. But see, I guess that it still just comes with the problem of the movie itself. And I don't think that if there is a message, it's not conveyed clearly enough. They change the message so much that it doesn't have a cohesive message for the entirety of the movie. And some might say, well, maybe the film has no message at all. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like kind of going that angle as well. Like, I feel like it could be either or in both, right? Like, it just depends on how you perceive it.
But then if that's the case, then it's just complete misery porn. And then at that point, it's just like, then, okay.
Oh, it's definitely misery porn. Like, that's how I felt when I was watching it. I was like, this is just sad. This guy's life is just sad.
I don't think it's misery porn in the sense that if it really was, the main character would probably still wallow in it. Whereas in the third act of the film, he kind of doesn't.
That's true.
So I would want to counteract that, but I would agree that most of the film is him basically just being really despondent. I wouldn't say utterly miserable, but just despondent.
He was very depressed.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, tell me about the director was Tom Ford. Didn't he own like a clothing line?
He's a fashion designer. He does own a clothing line now, but he is most popular when he worked for a specific clothing line. I forget which one.
Creative director at Gucci.
Yes, so he revitalized Gucci at a certain point in time. Gucci was starting to become stale, and then he got in and he completely revitalized it. And since then, like, whenever you hear rap songs or whenever you hear people talk about, especially like in the early to mid 2010s, when they would talk about designer clothes, they would talk about Tom Ford. That you would want a Tom Ford, because if you are someone who is high in fashion and you want to be respected as such, you wear Tom Ford. That's what you do. That's what you do.
He's only directed like 3 movies.
I think 3.
That's all I can see here.
Yeah, A Single Man, Nocturnal Animals, and one other film that
Noir and Parasite.
I've heard that one was not very good.
Oh. So he doesn't really have a lot of experience.
No, but to be fair, also Todd Field doesn't have much experience in filmmaking, and he makes amazing movies. I just want to say that right off the bat. Just because he doesn't have a lot of films under his belt does not mean that he can't do great films. Because Todd Field did Tar recently, which was amazing. It's just an amazing movie. So
I wonder why Tom Ford decided to make this movie.
I don't know.
Like, is it like a passion project? Like, I don't.
Probably. See, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of designers in his field would want to become filmmakers, because they do like to deal with space and sets and stuff when it comes to their fashion lines and having an aura around their fashion line. If you go to like a Gucci or like a Versace, like a party or something, they have a specific feel and a specific way they want everything to look to signify their brand. So that
he was kind of using this towards his brand, maybe?
Possibly. I don't know. It would be something I have to look into. See, here's the thing. Visually, I'm not saying he's a bad director. Clearly, he has a good eye for visuals. I just don't see where he got the kind of thing that he has for story. I think that is lacking in this movie specifically. I haven't seen Nocturnal Animals, and because I'm an Amy Adams fan, I kind of want to watch it. But yeah, this movie, like I said, visually, yes, very striking. Everything.
And it's also, like, the movie's based on a novel, too. I read that after I watched it.
Yeah. Everything else, though, with this, I was like, something just seems kind of off with this. And I just think it just lacks substance in the end. Yeah,
I was reading up on Tom Ford as well, and basically I think he made this movie because it says that Tom Ford used to ruminate about death ever since he was a small boy growing up in Texas.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, but to be fair, okay, most creatives are usually very depressed. Think of comedians, think of actors, think of writers. I don't know his story very well, but I know, especially in Texas, I know a lot of people have a hard time being the different person back then. Like, if you're more creative or you're more this or that. Life is a lot harder in the South when it comes to that. So that wouldn't surprise me too much.
Interesting. Yeah, I just didn't really know much about him. So.
Right. You want to get into spoilers?
Sure.
All right, let's get into spoilers for A Single Man. If you have not seen it, you should stop here and check it out when you're ready. We're going to get into spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, we go through 90 minutes of this movie of him being not great. just in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Just in a bad spot. And we're going to spoil the ending right away, because I think this is one of the things I had a huge problem. There's many issues that I had a problem with this movie. But I think the main one we have here is that in the end of the movie, he suddenly realizes that he wants to live. So he burns all the suicide notes. He locks away the gun that he's had the entire time, which is one issue I had throughout the film.
What, the gun?
I had a problem with the gun. I'll get into that, though.
Okay. Now I'm really, curious on what your thoughts are on the gun, but okay, keep going.
And then he sits in bed, he ruminates on something, and then he dies of a heart attack.
Which, again, throughout the film, they show him taking aspirin to, I guess, help his heart.
Yeah.
I got that right off the bat.
Did you?
Yeah, I knew he was dying of a heart attack for sure. Away, I was like, yep, he's having a heart attack.
Yeah, I didn't catch that at all. I just saw.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't catch that at all. I didn't.
You see throughout the film, he takes Bayer aspirin. He has the little tin, and he takes it 3 or 4 times throughout the film, and he's kind of gesturing towards his heart, when he's taking it. So that's how I knew.
I guess I didn't catch that.
Were you paying attention? No, just kidding.
Yeah, well, okay. So I get you caught that. I thought it was random. I was like, why kill him?
No, it's not random.
Why have him die of a heart attack when he just realizes he wants to live? That seems oddly cruel.
I think he had a heart condition, because obviously he's taking all the aspirin, and towards the beginning, towards the middle of the film, when he's having a flashback with his lover, I forget the guy's name.
I think it's Jim.
Jim, yeah. And he's everyone calls him old man too, because he was a lot older than him, and he was taking aspirin at one point then too. He's don't forget to take your medicine or something. So he probably had a heart condition that they didn't really they kind of very subtly pointed out, but not enough for everybody to get it, I guess.
I guess I missed that, but I just think killing him at the end of the movie, when he suddenly realizes I actually want to live after all this, just seems like I said, it seems kind of cruel. It seems kind of like I said in the beginning, very misery pornish.
Yeah, it's he almost has an epiphany about life when he meets that young student and starts having a bit of a relationship with him towards the end of the movie, and then he's wow, people do care about me, and I can still have another relationship outside of Jim, and then he just dies.
Yeah. There was kind of no point to it. You mentioning that he had a heart condition, it's fine. Maybe
he just maybe they just wanted to point out he really didn't know how precious life is until you die. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just talking out of my ass at this point just to try to make a point for this movie that maybe that isn't even the case at all. But that's how I took it. I was watching it and I'm okay, the beginning he's really depressed. The boyfriend Jim's parents want nothing to do with their relationship, probably because they're gay, as they pointed out at the very beginning of the movie. And some random stranger calls him, I don't know who he was, to tell him that Jim had died. Mm-hmm. And the whole first half of the movie and towards the middle, he's super depressed, and everyone keeps telling him he looks like shit, right? Everyone's you don't
which he doesn't.
Which is oh my god, yes, thank you. I was what are they talking about? He looks fucking great. His hair's perfect. I mean, he maybe looks a tiny bit pale, but that's really it. I was they should have fucked up his hair or something to make him look like shit. And then the middle of the movie comes, and I feel the turning point was he met the other guy. No.
Oh, Kenny.
His name. Kenny. Yes.
Yeah.
He meets Kenny, and then you can tell he's attracted to Kenny. Oh, my other question, sorry, I'm getting a little off topic, but my other question, what was the deal with like the eyes? Like, I feel like throughout the film, they kept zooming in on like characters, like one of their eyeballs.
Like when they're putting their eyeliner on?
Eyeliner, but they did it with Kenny. They did it with like a few other characters. Did you notice that?
I did, but my problem with this is a problem specific to me. When someone is trying to put eyeliner on or something on their eyes, it kind of weirds me out, so I kind of have to look away.
Does it make your eyes like water?
A little bit, yeah. So like,
they're
gonna poke their eye. They're gonna poke their eye.
Like, oh my god.
I think in the case of with Kenny and George, it was supposed to denote
attraction thing.
Yes, I think it was, but they lingered on it so damn long. I was like,
a lot, yeah.
Lord.
And then too, like it's like they never really confirmed, even towards the end of the movie, that Kenny was gay. I mean, they implied it, but there was no confirmation. Like they didn't speak those words or say that Kenny was into men.
I think they kind of confirmed it at the end, don't you think?
Did they sleep together?
Kim, did you watch the movie?
I did. Well, they don't really like show it. They just, I mean,
Kenny got naked in front of him and let him lingerly watch him.
Yeah, watch him, but then like after that,
do you think straight guys do that?
Then after that, he took a
hey,
shower.
bro, check my ass out, bro. Like,
no,
what?
Like I knew that. Like I guess I kind of knew he was gay, but like I didn't know that they slept together. There was
no, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Okay, then what are you talking about?
Kim, come on! I have one of the worst gaydars out there. I can more than admit that. But even I was like, clearly.
No, I did get it. I just said they've never like verbally said it.
So, what do you want him to do? You want him to suck his cock and just say, "Oh, by the way, I'm gay."
I don't know. I think. Shut up. I think you are right because he like subtly took his clothes off. Like I'm just saying, like I know like men get changed in front of men all the time, but I guess it's more.
But
like
not like that. They're not saying.
I know.
Hey, the quarterback of the team is not going to the linebacker and go, "Hey, does my ass look great in this, bro?" No, they're not doing that.
Okay, you're absolutely right. I am wrong on this part.
I can just imagine guys. I mean, are you watching like gay porn where the guys are in the shower together and one's lingerly watching them soaping their naked body? What is this?
I'm not gay. I mean,
I know you're not gay.
And I don't watch gay porn, so no. Do you?
Well, I had a period of time where I don't listen to talk about that.
Right. Didn't know that about you. I mean, hey, it's fine. You're in what you're into, but
I had a period of time where I questioned my sexuality. Sure, I did. No, but like I said, my gaydar is pretty bad. But even when I was watching this film going, oh, it is clear Kenny's into him. Like it is so clear because the way that he looks at him, the way he talks.
Like, how did you not know he was having a heart attack? Like there's certain things you picked up on more than I did.
Absolutely. I think maybe the way that Kenny was flirting with George was a little too subtle for you.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I guess he did get naked in front of him and he was staring at him. So okay, they're gay.
Yeah,
I mean, I knew George was, but you know.
Because let me put it to you this way: if I was naked in front of another guy, and he was looking at me the way George looked at Kenny when he was naked, I'd be like, "Bro, what are you looking at?"
Grab a towel. Yeah.
Bro, what are you looking at? Like that's.
Or you'd hurry up and get in the shower and make yourself scarce.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I regret saying that. You're absolutely right. I'm fucking wrong. I don't know. Whatever. Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Moving on.
It's fine. It's fine. Like I said, my gaydar is terrible.
I have terrible gaydar.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. No. Like mine's bad too. Like there are times where I'll share a story with you that you'll find funny. After my last relationship, I was very attracted to this one person that I started talking to when I was writing, and I was like really attracted to her. Oh my god, she's funny, she's smart. Oh my, and she's cute too. Oh my god, she's amazing. And we talk every once in a while, and this and that. I then find out about a month later, she's a lesbian.
Okay.
And I wasn't giving like subtle hints and everything, but I was like, wow, that came out of nowhere. So I started talking to this other friend I have. It's like, I just realized, like, what's her name is a lesbian. It's like, yeah, dude, you didn't catch that? How did you not catch that? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, well, wait a minute, well, you have a thing for her? It's like, yeah, it kind of did. It's like, dude, everyone knew she was a lesbian. It was like well, how?
Like,
like,
well, I feel fucking stupid.
Well, here's the saddest part. It's like, how did you guys know? She's married to a lesbian. I was like, oh shit.
That little detail that you just happened to not catch on to.
Oh, well, that could have saved me a lot
month.
for a month. Okay.
Well,
she's married.
Speaking of females, you hadn't really brought up Julianne Moore's character or performance in this at all. Yeah, I was kind of like, meh.
I mean,
she's been in way better films.
Yeah, like, but I don't think this is a matter of, Julianne Moore had a bad performance. I don't think Julianne Moore had much to deal with. She just hammed it up, which is fine.
Yeah, that's literally all she did. I mean, she played, like, the typical, like, gay friends girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I guess, like, is that why they threw that in there? Like, I thought it was kind of weird. Or maybe a little unnecessary. I don't know.
Honestly, I think most of this film is unnecessary, only because they don't have much depth into it.
Yeah.
But I think in this circumstance, the only thing I can really show in this is that there were scenes where Jim questioned the relationship between Charlotte and George. Because when you meet Jim, or how Jim is portrayed and how George is portrayed, they're very, I guess, uptight might be the best term I can give them.
Yeah.
They're kind of an uptight people, but, like, Charlotte is
like,
not.
They seem very, like, formal.
Yes. Like, and Charlotte is very gregarious.
She's like a free spirit.
Absolutely. Which is fine. Like I said, like, Julianne Moore did fine with the role that she was given. It just wasn't much of a role.
Yeah, like, and she wasn't even, like, the film that long. Like, it was a small part.
The ending of George dying of a heart attack was just seemed, I guess it shouldn't have felt random to me, but it did. It's just like, but why?
That's just how you felt. You know, that's just how you felt.
Right, I know.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's just how you felt.
I have been doing this for years. Of course I know. But,
oh my God.
No.
You should be questioning the master.
Exactly. It took you a few episodes to realize it, but it's good that you finally come. No, kidding.
Bastard.
Kidding. But no.
I don't know. I think I kind of liked the ending.
Good, you died. Okay.
No, it's just kind of like, all right, sealed the deal. Like, he was depressed, and then he wanted to kill himself. And then he found out that, he could still be loved by this young college student. And he saw the hope and the light, and almost like the light in this kid's eyes. And he was like, wow, I can have another relationship. And then he's like, oh yeah, I have a heart condition and I'm dead now. So maybe you shouldn't have taken life for granted. Because, like, so I forget too, like, I forget if they depict, like, how long Jim was dead when the movie, like, started. Was he dead for, like, a year or two? I can't remember.
I don't yeah, another problem.
I want to say they said 2 years. I feel like that's what it was.
I don't think it was that long. I thought it was
really?
I don't think so. I think it was kind of recent, actually.
I can't remember.
Because because when John Hamm called him, I think that was relatively recent.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. Honestly, I don't remember either. To be absolutely honest, I'm going through 8 months earlier is what happened. It was.
8 months.
According to the synopsis on IMDb, it was 8 months previous. Which, okay, makes sense, I guess.
I mean, grieving can take longer than 8 months, I guess.
Oh, I know.
But I just think that, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into this stupid fucking movie. I don't know.
but that's kind of the problem with this movie, because we're trying to glean details of what the purpose of the movie is and why they went the way they did, and all we get is, I don't know. And
I think this is what they were trying to portray, but I don't know for sure.
Right, but the problem isn't that we just don't like what they're saying in the movie. It's just that they don't give us details to actually.
But maybe they did that on purpose. I don't know.
But if you do that on purpose, you have to do it for a reason, and there doesn't seem to be a reason for that. That's my opinion. Others may disagree. But
I don't know. Like, I guess I wasn't shocked when he died, and I don't know why I was. Like, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, he had a heart condition, and he's old, and he's grieving. And I mean, they do say, like, when you're going through, somebody passes away, or when you're going through something, if you're sick or in the hospital or whatever, if you don't have a positive attitude, like, it shortens your life a little bit. Like,
sure.
It can help that. So I don't know. I just kind of was like, okay, like, that settles that. Like, he's gone. I don't know.
Honestly,
like, I was okay with it. I don't know why. I just
my issue with the way the film ended is mainly because just a minute earlier he decided he wanted to live. If he hadn't decided, he didn't make the purposeful actions to decide to live, I would have taken the heart attack as, oh, okay. It's like, God did it for him, I guess. Maybe it's a sign of just like, okay, you want to die, that's fine.
But it just goes to show you, like, life is precious, right? Like,
right. But on the other hand, I think that's where my hang-up is. That he decided right away, oh, wait, life's worth living. And then, boom, dead. Like, hold on. It's like, well, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Yeah, but again, you didn't catch on to what I caught on to, so there's that.
True. But then that could have just been an innocuous detail and been fine. I just, like, I look at the purpose of, you're looking, I think the way you're looking at it as, it makes sense that he died of a heart attack because he had X problems and it was shown through this, which, fine. It's a perfect way to look at it. I'm looking at it in a way of, what is the filmmaker trying to say? What is the purpose of the reason why the character did this X, Y, and Z, and why the story went A, B, C?
Life is precious. Don't take it for granted.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Well, that's the message I'm getting.
Okay, and that's fine. that is fine.
How do you not see that?
I see it, but I see it as kind of a cheap way to end the movie.
Okay, that's fair.
I see it as, I have nothing else better that I can say here, so life is worth living, wee! And then there, it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, like, don't take it for granted.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, like, what other, I just feel like, what other, like, scenario would there be? Like, what other story would there be for that? Like, that's literally kind of what it is, right?
I think I would have been fine with a happy ending for this. I would have been okay with the misery porn of the beginning and the middle, and then as the third act goes, and he slowly warms up to Kenny and possibly living and realizing that he has a good life, he has good friends, and it be a happy ending, and then he doesn't sleep with Kenny, but he goes to bed, and that's the end of the movie. I would have been like, yeah, okay, that's fine, I guess. I still would have been like, I probably.
Or maybe like make the film a little bit longer, where it shows him like really, really happy for like a longer period of time, and then he dies of a heart attack.
No.
I don't know. I think it makes sense to me on why he died.
I think it doesn't make sense thematically. It does make sense logically. I think that's where the hang up between me and you are. Logically, you say, yeah, he had a heart condition. He was taking aspirin. Yeah, of course he fucking died of a heart attack. Fine. Yeah. Wiz, what the hell's your fucking problem, you fucking idiot? Yeah, I get what you're saying, okay?
No, I get what you're saying, though. You're saying, like, from a master in film.
Oh, would you stop with the fucking master in film shit? I do not pretend to be a master in film. It's the people who say they're masters in film are the ones that are fucking assholes.
Douchebag.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I had a friend for a long time who considered himself one, and I'm like, yeah, okay, bro. Sure,
I don't know
pal.
how that went.
Oh, yeah. But my issue is just basically, what is the filmmaker trying to say in this movie? And it just seems like he has nothing to say. If the moral of it is life is precious, then, like, okay. It's like that. You didn't need an hour and 40 minutes and all this
at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you didn't need all this to say that. Really, you really didn't. And
but
honestly,
again, like you said, I think he really just enjoyed making a pretty looking film, and just a little bit I just read up on Tom Ford. Like, it sounds like he really enjoys death. So maybe seriously, like, it said, like, that's what it said. Like, as a child too, like, he, like, death, like, intrigued him. Like, he loved talking about death. So maybe, like, he's like, well, if I'm going to make a film, I want to make sure the main character dies in it. Like, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
I am Tom Ford, and my character must die.
Yeah. Seriously, you don't know. Like, maybe that was his thing. Like, he's like, death is depressing. Let's make the first, 60 minutes of the film really sad and depressing, and then let's get him happy, and then let's just kill him off. I don't know. Maybe that's his thought process.
And Tom Ford's like furiously masturbating over. Oh my God! Yes, thank you, God.
He's like, and he's in my suit.
Oh God. I you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they all are in his clothing.
I'm curious. Let's Google that.
Yeah. I don't care.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I don't care. So, I mentioned the gun. Okay.
Oh yes. Let's circle back to that. I forgot.
Why is he holding the gun throughout the entire fucking film? What's the point of that?
That's a good question.
Like, really, what's the point of that?
Well, at first I thought he was like when he first put it in his briefcase at the very beginning when they show the gun, I thought he was trying to figure out where to do it. But then as you get towards the middle of the film, he had it planned out. So
he had it planned out in probably one of the most unintentionally hilarious scenes of the film.
When he's in the bed and he's trying to figure out how to put
let me get myself comfortable while I blow my brains out. What?
Well, you know what that is.
Oh, it's him questioning whether he wants to do it or not.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but it just was unintentionally hilarious. It was because it's meant to be a serious scene, but it just comes off really weird and kind of hilarious because he's oh, I'm gonna do it right here. Oh wait, these pillars are not right. Let me do it. No, let me put the pillow on the wall and lean this way. And I don't fit. Let me get the sleeping bag.
I'm the gun upside down, and he's putting it right side up and putting it in his mouth different angles. I'm what?
Yeah. I know what it is. It's him. The fact that he is taking so much time doing this is him questioning whether he wants to do it or not.
Right.
But the way it is shot and the way it's performed is hilarious. And it shouldn't be. It should be oh man, he's going through something hard. There are films that deal with suicide where literally the person is shaking and their hands are shaking. I'm going to do it, and they can't do it. And there's more dramatic tension there. But in this film, it's just do I do it this way?
But it kind of worked with how we know Colin Firth, right? His slight humor. I almost felt like it kind of worked. I was okay, I could see this thought process going through this man's head just because of the actor that he is. But
it's kind of like Hugh Grant, and he's do I kill myself? Oh, whoopsie daisies.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking in my mind when he was doing all the actions, and I was just this guy just can't really figure it out, and he doesn't want to do it.
But there's no humor in the film.
I know. No, that's true. That's why, I did think it was kind of strange. I was why did I have this in the movie at all?
Yeah, when I saw this scene, I'm not that I was laugh out loud hilarious, but I was what is this?
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought. I was what is he doing?
Yeah, but
and why?
I just but he also carried a gun in his briefcase
for a long time, to the school, to his office,
to the bank where the kid almost saw it, and I'm
I was waiting for that. I was the kid's gonna see it and the mother's gonna freak the fuck out, and then they're gonna arrest him or something. I don't know. I was what's gonna happen with this gun?
Yeah, it was
and
really weird.
Nothing at all.
I just was yeah.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
You know what? At the end of the movie when Kenny is sleeping naked because they apparently probably had sex and I just didn't know it.
They didn't have sex. Stop it. Go ahead.
I know. And and he's holding the gun to his chest. Is he doing that to keep it away from him?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Sure.
That's my thought too.
Okay.
You can't be too sure, but I think yes. He's doing it because I think he recognized early on what was going through his head.
Right.
Not that I don't think Kenny is attracted to him. I think he is, but I think
he felt bad for him.
Yes,
sorry.
He definitely recognized something was going on. So when he saw the gun, he took it. is essentially what happened in that.
Okay, that's what I thought too, but I wasn't 100% sure on that.
So you want to get to final thoughts?
Sure.
Go right ahead.
I probably give this movie 3 out of 5 because I do, just like you said, I do like the way it was shot. I liked the colors and how they did the flashbacks of Jim and the overall taste of the movie, I guess you could say. I didn't give it a higher rating than that because I don't think I'd ever watch it again, just because it kind of is what it is, and it kind of bored me a little bit. Not by much, but just like you said, the substance of it wasn't really that deep. There really wasn't anything to really get into. But overall, like, I enjoyed it. I liked the movie. I personally did enjoy the ending. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I would really recommend it to anyone I know unless they wanted to watch a really depressed man die of a heart attack at the end. I don't know.
You just gotta see it, Becky. Oh my God, that's just what I want.
There's no, I don't know. There isn't a lot of substance. That's really all I have for this movie.
So the style and look of the film was enough for you to recommend it?
Yeah, if you're into films and you can catch that while watching it and not be so enwrapped in the actual story, I would recommend it to a film geek. I don't know.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I'm going to give it 2 stars out of 5. I think the way the film is shot is exquisitely beautiful. Just the way the costumes are, the way the colors are, the look of it is... I can't deny. The costumes
are really pretty.
Everything about the film visually is very appealing and very well done. The story is not. The story, especially when it comes to George, kind of goes nowhere in this film. And even with films that kind of meander like this, there is a point to why it's meandering. And there just doesn't seem to be one for me in this movie. So I do like the performance of Colin Firth in this movie.
Too. Yeah, for sure.
I did understand why he got nominated for Best Actor that year that this film came out. But on the other hand, there are much better films dealing with these topics that I think are much better. It is a pretty looking film, but it is purely a style over substance film. I'm going to give it 2 stars out of 5. You're going to give it 3?
Yeah, I give it 3.
And you're going to give it 3 out of 5. So you'll recommend it, I won't.
I did, and I did forget to mention, I did enjoy Colin Firth's performance in this a lot. I feel like he plays a really great, serious role.
Yeah, absolutely.